Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's good. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let others join us, and we're going to begin straight because we have a lot to do today. Today, I'm going to attend to talk about data governance component, the component of data governance. So it will be nice for everyone to pay attention. And all right. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me just go to hi everyone. I'm Michelle. Okay. You know, sometimes when I call your name, I call it Michael instead of Michelle. Is that correct?
No, Mitchell, yeah.
Michelle. Okay. Michelle, where you actually tuning from? Where you calling from? Is it
From Super Trends.
from Ojobo? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Ojobo. Okay. Right. Let me tell me if you can see what I'm sharing. Okay, can you see what I'm sharing, everyone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good,
Yes.
good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Let me look at this. Okay, right. Okay. Please do not play with this at all. This particular aspect of the curriculum is very, very good and very important. It's like the first 2-3 minutes when you're speaking and they didn't say this aspect of if from you articulating in any interview or what you want to do in your program, ensuring that a chief executive uh, assign or designated stakeholder to hear from you. Haven't heard anything like this within the next 2 minutes. They feel that you don't really know the scope. You don't really know what it entails in your program because they need to buy into what you want to do, whether greenfield or brownfield. Can anyone here actually tell me the difference between brownfield and greenfield, please? Can somebody tell me the difference between brownfield and greenfield?
So greenfield is a relatively new field. When you're going into data governance, there's nothing on ground. While brownfield is a place where they already have the data, so they just need someone to fine tune it or to restructure it. But at the same time, sometimes companies will say they're in brownfield, but they're actually in greenfield because there's actually nothing on ground. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is that taken? Everyone.
We think about green as like when the plants are just growing, they come out green, beautiful, and all that. And then when they become old, or when the harmattan or winter season has hit, everything becomes brown. So they've become older.
Thank you. Thank you, Ife. That's very sound. Okay. Do we all agree on that?
Yes. Very well.
Good. Thank you so much. I want everyone to note it because each time I'm going to be making reference to it. Okay? I want everyone to note it so that you can talk like a professional. When you go for interview, it should be you interviewing the people, not you being interviewed because you know what you're doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? I have some jobs being sent to me and I need to give them to people. Before I give them to people, I have to ask the people, the agent, I said, oh, is it brownfield or greenfield? Some of the agents don't even understand what we're talking about. So I have to explain to them because if it is not so, how will I be able to give it to someone who is ready to work? so that the person should know what it's going for. So it's very important that we know the difference. Okay. Now, whichever may be the case, you need to understand the components of data governance, because if you don't understand, you will not be able to manage it. So let's go. Okay. Can anyone there see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramsey. Okay, every other person?
Yes, sir.
Please let me know. All right. Okay. That being said, I want you to know that in data governance, we have people first before data. So the first component will be people. All right. And then the next component will be strategy. Have you heard the word strategy before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of strategy?
Strategy is a method you have to activate a project or a movement, something like that.
The long-term goal.
It's a long-term goal. Thank you so much, Michelle. It's a long-term goal. I want everybody to write it down. Long-term goal. Please write it down. It's actually a long-term goal. Okay? And the reason why you must know this is because I recognize everyone here as managers and directors. You should be able to have this concept in you. If there is something called long-term goal, that means there's something called short-term goal. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And short-term goal is referred to as what?
Tactical plan.
Tactical plan. It's called short-term goal. So these two words have got military origin. Please note them down, because you are a top personnel. They're not paying you big money for nothing. They know that you are going to be there to deliver. Your main work is that you're always going to be speaking to stakeholders, and you need to be taking decisions with people as well. So you must know strategy plan and tactical plan. So long-term goal and short-term goal, strategy and tactical, both those words has got military origin. Has got what? Military origin. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What I mean, before people go to war, they have to think about the strategy of the war. Every war is it goes in the way of operation. We call it operation. Okay. Now you need strategic plan for operation. And if the war does not go the way it is planned, then you resort to plan B, which is tactical plan, short-term plan. Okay. So in the program of data governance you're going to have as a manager, you need long-term plan. Even if there's going to be scalability or move or migration from where the state of your program to a cloud or higher program due to the complexity of data you're going to handle in practice, then your plan must also cover it, or you have an update to cover that. Robust enough to handle the same. Very important. Is that okay, everyone? So
Yes,
that plan involves processes in your program. And every process needs to be well taken care of in terms of monitoring and also evaluated if care is not taken. But the main thing is that every plan has got a process. And the process always been backed up with policies that carry the standards. In most cases, best standards to ensure the accomplishment of your program. So it's very important that you get it clear that those standards are very important when set up right from the day one. And they must be in line with the corporate goals of the company. Irrespective of the environment they find themselves, whether internal or external environment. If it's internal, you can't control it. You can control it. If it's external, sometimes you have to adapt to suit the jurisdiction where you are operating. Very important. Most especially external influence in terms of privacy and security from external. So very important. And then you need to have a security when your program has been set, process has been set, standard has been set, running up and running in a way if you need to secure your program, data governance program. So if it is data quality initiative you carry, you need to have what is called security as well. Security being that part of the data protection and coupled with privacy. While security dealing with authorized and unauthorized access, privacy deals with the compliance in terms of law and regulatory. So both of them combined together, making data protection. Of course, we have different legislation and regulation kind of put in place on different continents. Okay, so then you socialize your program, okay? You know social media, you know where you can reach, wherever you want people to know, you let them know publicly, made it known publicly, or the one that you wanted to know, give them access to acquire the information by telling, oh, before you can know this, register in this place, follow the registration, and then probably you also gather their information. In case there's a problem, you're able to link where the problem comes from. Okay, and then we have communication. You need to communicate your program out to people, the data, your enriched data to people so that people cannot buy into the value of the data you have. Okay, and also we have metrics, KPI, the measurement of the performance of what you have in your program. So normally there are always criteria to which you use to measure, not excluding the standard set for that criteria for that program itself. So anything you cannot measure, you cannot control, you cannot manage. So definitely we need to know whether your program is running well or not by the standards. And if it's not running well, it could be as a result of the way it's being managed. So that is why the difference between management practice and best practice is as a result of SOP, standard operating procedure, because the standard you use in measuring in your operation might not meet up with the best standard. So as a result of wrong management practice. So you use metrics to measure it. And by so doing, when you set the metrics right from the day one, whether brown feed or green feed, you'll be able to know exactly where the fault lies during your evaluation, and you'll be able to know where to start from and monitor the same. So very important metrics have to be set when you prepare your program. And make sure when you're doing this, put in place a very convincing write-up like those who came last week, able to talk about a case study, someone presenting a case before chief executive, why data matters, and so that they can buy into it. But initially, when you employ people, will be running away from in a way they look at you as somebody that wants to, expose them or do whatever. They find it difficult to, first of all, associate with you, especially the data owners and stewards. But what can we say? You have to let them buy into it by presenting your case, why data matters. And then after that, you have technology to carry out all activities that is required in the program. This is just the seniority principle involving the context of data component, data governance component. Let's move on, okay? People. People, have you heard the word people before?
Yes.
Thank you. Only one person have heard the word people before. Have you heard the word people before?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ramsey. Thank you, Latonia. Thank you. Okay, people, the data governance professionals, who are they? I will be glad for you to say, I am.
I am.
Thank you, Latonia. Yeah.
I am.
The people from United States of Africa. So, the data governance professionals, data stewards, and other key business and IT staff are the backbone of any data governance program. So that is the reason why I lay emphasis on the program itself. Without you, without the people, the program cannot run. There's no program. So that's why when if it mentioned the other time that it could be green, it could be brown. So whichever may be the field, people are the backbone. So what did they do? What did they do? What will you do as a professional? You establish and develop the workflows. How does the program move? The workflows to ensure that the organization data governance requirements are met to be of top notch. So what happens is a company needs to invest heavily in training and education to ensure that these components provides this particular component. Which component we're talking about right now?
People.
People. Yeah. People. All right. People provides the maximum amount of value that is required by the company. Okay. So you are the one who is a custodian of the program. You are the one who create the value expected. So if you don't know how to create value, that becomes a problem. That is why you're under this training. Most companies spend heavy money in training people. That's why you see some people are being trained with about 5 to 10K. That's nothing to company because they know what they want to create. I'm telling you. Now in this digital world driven by data, every day, they just want people to meet up with the pace. And they spend money because they know the value they're going to create. So you people are the fundamental, in fact, the backbone of all. They are the people who will create the architecture of the program. Make sure things are in place. They don't pay people £125,000 a year or maybe 400 to 1,200 pounds a day for nothing, because they know you need to create value. And it is value that people buy into, especially in this GZ of time. So they create billions of buys every day in order to drive the social value and economic sector all over the world. So you need to up and doing to establish your program and also develop the workflows to ensure to meet the governance requirement of any organization. So people is a key. So it's very key. So you being trained, you should know that you are not ordinary. That's why I advise people, if you're not ready to be trained, don't make it. If you're ready to be trained, be part of it with your whole heart. Anything you don't know, feel free to ask. Is that okay, everyone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So let's talk about strategy. Of course, strategy, the data governance team plays a key role in the development and implementation roadmap of any organization. Okay, And every organization has got data strategy. When you talk about a roadmap, which of course we're going to get there, we have three main types of roadmap. Okay, roadmap, what is called 30 days roadmap. That is when immediately you are employed, you are entitled, immediately you are employed, you are entitled to have access to the company's database. And then you now assess their current situation. On that basis, probably it could be on kind of brand field. So when you have that access to have to carry an assessment of the current situation of the the company's data, then you'll be able to know their loopholes and the gap, identify gaps, and create a target in order to meet up with your expectation or the company expectation. But if it's a greenfield, your 30 days roadmap is to create. You have to create a strategy to make sure you are able to also meet up, because that is different from when you develop. So no matter how it is, we have practical aspects to do on this one, because it's very sensitive, very, very sensitive. They're going to ask you some few questions. How are you able to to improve a program that in a company? You have to think about the strategy. And there is a document that I may like to share with you, probably when it comes to the practical. I will share that with you how to do that. And that's not a problem at all. Okay? So after getting the current situation, you'll be able to have 60 days roadmap. 60 days roadmap imply that you try to establish your program. And it could take time anyway. That both of them could take time. We only put in 30, 60, sometimes even up to 90 days, we have not even gotten the first phase. So the job is paying you salary. Because it takes a while sometimes, especially when it's greenfield. Then after establishment in 60 days, you have 90 days. 90 days, that's talking about maturing and maybe ultimately trying to, if you're fast enough, you'll be able to have optimization of your program. Okay? But whichever may be the case, you're going to monitor. Yeah. If your hands up.
Yes. So I was going to give an example of a 30-day roadmap. So in the 30-day roadmap, you establish the foundation of the organization's landscape. And what you do is you identify who and who you would like to meet, the key people who will be involved in that data governance. So for example, those in the IT department, because the IT department is very key, because every person who comes into the company, the first thing the IT department does is they will take your name, they will take your details, your data and all that, and then they will assign a laptop or whatever technical equipment needs to be given to you. So you need to make sure everything the IT department is doing, the names of people that they have taken, you need to make sure that it's all correct. So you will meet with them to tell them that, right, what problems are you facing? They might tell you that, oh, we've got two FAs in the department and we don't know who is who. So it's your own job now as a data governance manager to say that, right, since the AFAs have exactly the same names, the same surnames, what we could do is use number one or take out a digit to identify this AFA and identify that AFA. In other words, you're formatting the data with them. Then you do surveys, workshops where you involve every person in the organization as to why you have come in to do the data governance management. So, and that is a meeting or that. So the survey could be in the forms of workshop, or you could just send out feedback sheets to everyone to say what are they expecting from this new person who's going to be managing our data for us. And then you identify the scope. So the scope could be focusing on the specific data, like the customer's data. Say, for example, it's a sales company. They get sales from different people. How do we identify which customer is which? How do we identify which customer shops here more? How do we identify the customers that are because whether you like it or not, some customers are of utmost importance than others. So if it's a customer who comes in to buy in bulk, they are more likely to be on the organization's database than one who just comes in to buy one item in a year. So you do all that, and then so the 30-day roadmap, like what our trainer was saying, it could be 3 months. It might not necessarily be 30 days. It could be every month you have an objective which you and the stewards, which you and the data governance key stakeholders have identified as to what you're going to be doing every week. In week 2, it could be that you start talking about the framework, the principles, and the responsibilities, and then start assigning roles and telling these people that you'll be responsible for this or responsible for that. And then you could have week 3. So the 30-day roadmap could be as many as 10 weeks, but that is 30-day roadmap. It could be just be 1 month, but that is 30-day roadmap. So it's yourself and any key stakeholder. They're going to sit down together and say, right, these are the objectives we're expecting, and then this is how we are hoping you will go around them before we go into the 60-day roadmap. So of course, 60-day roadmap now becomes a different ballgame altogether. By that time, you would have established a data governance framework and all that. Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you so much, Shefe. That is one of the most important things you must note, because when you already there, you say, oh, my roadmap, I think, let me just underline it, implementation roadmap. Let me just underline it. Ramsey, can I underline it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very important. Anyway, everyone must have the literature for this. Very important. Thank you, Efe. Your hand is up again, Efe. Is it the old one?
Let me put it down, sorry.
Okay, no problem. So I like people who contribute a lot. So you I know, okay, Prince.
I have a question to ask.
Okay, do.
Okay, so just like if explained, if you come into the organization and you already have in place something, a strategy where what the improvement or what you intend to bring into the value you intend to bring into the organization, you have something in place that is actually good. At what point do you need to, like, you want to improve on that, or if you think it's good enough to a percentage, but because it's like your 30-day roadmap, right? Do you really need to add where you don't need to add, or just for the sake that they need to see what you're doing or the value you want to bring in, or you just improve on that? But where you don't really necessarily need to add to it, what will be the situation then?
Thank you so much. I like that question because this is practical. And I like more technical questions, like as you said. You see, the thing is that you are the custodian of the program. When you have access into the system and you have assessment of the current situation, your assessment can come without setting a standard and criteria for measurement. Okay? So when you look at what is going on, or the current situation does not meet up with your with optimization or mature situation, you need to know what stage are they. Okay? What stage are they? So on that basis, it will not determine. I think, let me just quickly check something, and I will come back to it. Let me look at, okay, let me open something and share it. Okay, everybody, please take note of this. This is a document that you will, when the time comes, you will You will do the practical. Can you see what I'm sharing?
Yep.
Good.
Yes, sir.
This is initiative planning and roadmap 2. It is a 2, okay? All right. Let me take it a little bit. What did I do? Let me stop sharing again. Stop sharing again, and I'm gonna do it again. Where is the document? Am I sharing?
No.
Good.
Not yet, sir.
I want to reduce the document a little bit. It's flying away. I'm not seeing the document. And the document is it's not appearing, isn't it?
No.
Okay, what I will do, I will close it and then open it again. The document minimizes himself. I will open it from another angle. Okay. Yeah, I can see it now. But okay, so I should be able to share it now. Right. Yeah, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much. Now, this is Data Governance Initiative Planning and Roadmap 2. All right. But Manuel, engineer, look at it. This
Yeah, I
plan,
can see it.
okay, you could say it's a tool. All right. So for you to analyze every organization, data governance requirements. So also determine the gaps, like I explained the other time, that exist, okay? What the current official state. So now you are the one who is a custodian and you have the program yourself. You are the piloter, okay? Now, these are the tools you use to measure your program yourself. If it is greenfield is like initial or advert. You haven't really started. So automatically you have a long way to go. Is that okay?
Yeah, this is very okay. I think you actually
Mention
took me to where what I wanted to see. So this, can I describe this as like a best practice tool that
Thank
you
you.
could use to measure yours?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Don't worry, when you are employed, before you employ, I can give you. There is no, but that's why I said in this training, you are a master class. You are a master person who actually, before you go to any interviews, like you are the one interviewing because you know what you're going to do. It's not about any other thing. Okay. We train people to make sure they know they already work in the industry. It's up to you to have ability to really, really flow and articulate. Now, this is the optimized position bar, and the rating is 1 to 5. Okay? You define every concept, you also develop, you also manage and measure, because anything you cannot measure, you can't control. So, having done this, these are all my introduction. Then that's a data governance current and target state. At this point, it is never a joke. So you're going to measure these are the criteria you put together to know the challenges and also to associate them with the capability you have. Okay, now for example, the planning process. This is the vision of the company. Okay, the vision of the company, the organization has adopted a holistic company view of data governance holistically. So you have a rating from 1 to 5 in terms of current maturity. So are we up to 5 years? Say no. Or here you say no, it's 1. That means it's a very big work to do. Okay, this is just a roadmap. There is another document that seems like this, but it's stronger than this. Okay, so in each of the planning, with this planning, you have to look at the complete planning, and each of the planning, you have to look at what to do. This is the control of the team of the program is data governance engine room. You're going to be there, especially knowing what to do. And each of these aspects, you can easily use it to prepare your program and also define them or have a meeting with the chief executive. Okay, and you can also analyze the result of the planning and have a summary of it. Okay, if they are underperforming in every aspect, you should be able to plot it. You see that? Can you see that?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Yes, yes, yes. It's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
And as a matter of fact, this is even a gap analysis of data. Well, I have a very big documents that you can use in doing all what's up. In fact, if you are working in the financial industry or business or any shares or whatever, those documents are all there. So it's simple to do, but you need to understand what you are going to control or manage. But if you don't understand it, how would you be able to find yourself there? That makes the difference between this training and any other training, because we use practical to analyze things properly. Okay, so let me go back to where we were.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me go to my sharing. Okay, sharing. We're still in this place. Okay, we're still the people. All right. So, and however, many of us fail to understand a strategy. We're saying the strategy. However, many companies fail to understand the need for a formal and documented data strategy. That is why you are going to be employed. A data strategy is an executive document. Look at what you're hearing and using it. It is an executive. It's not just people don't get access to it anyhow. There are very few people. Someone like you, the CEO, and few people. What other cross-functional department head could have is so just they can be given access to some areas of it because that's the one that concerns them. You can't expect the head of maintenance to get access to, for example, the payroll or the NI or maybe the bank account of another employer. It's meaningless, because only the HRO the human resources and the accounting department or payroll get access to the banking. So there is limitation. It's whoever you give access to is the one that rule and that can have access to that, to a specific data. So it's an executive document, That is why data governance, for information everybody get, you have to listen. If you ask interview, okay, if they have to ask you a question, on which department would you place data governance? Don't go and make mistake to say IT. No, it's not IT. It's in business. The business. What do you mean business? The business goal of the organization. Because that's where it must be tied into the corporate goal. If not, it will be one-sided. Of course, it's going to have a problem. IT can facilitate. Even the IT department itself is part of the data governance program you're going to put together, because you need them to even have their input in whatever you want to do. So always place data governance management, data governance program in under the auspice of the business objectives, corporate goals and objectives. Very important. Remember, that question comes a lot. Okay, so it's an executive document. And it's good that Ramsey is good that I already underlined it, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Very important. Get that. Thank you so much. Which provides a high level. So you here don't joke with yourself, because you are dealing with the high level of business. In fact, as a matter of fact, you drive the business to the value is required, irrespective of the activities. So you should know it's a very high level, program you have in the company. And actually the requirements for data and strategy to ensure that all requirements are met. So strategy is very important, and it has to be long-term. Okay. Right. Data processing. Every program needs to establish key data processes for data management. Common policies include data, this is a process anyway. Common policies include data issue tracking. You want to know that there's an assignment that is coming to you anyway. I think that should be the first assignment. Issue tracking, resolution, data quality monitoring, data sharing, and the knowledge of tracking and impact analysis, which I have shown you the other time. Okay, so in the impact analysis, we know the kind of rating, whether it's a critical, high, or medium, and average. So you will know how you could easily deal with the issue and the time frame you want that to be resolved in order to impact positively. So then you automate the system for data quality testing, and many others will come. So that is a process. There's always a process, and that process is every process is enshrined in a policy to govern the program itself. Okay, so policies. A data policy is a high-level set of one or more statements that we state expectation and expected outcomes. So now, when in the beginning, when I talk about 125,000 something, say, oh, we want someone who will develop the policies, injury retention. Why? Because if you don't have this policy anywhere, anything you do is like it's going the way you want it to go, but you will not. Policies are very, very good to get by, to make sure things are all right in terms of the workflow of your program. So, and that also influences or direct data habits on any company at any community level. So policies are there to really, really give you an insight into reality of which direction you may go. You have to go in your process and program. So this program policies help to establish data governance policies and terms of management, and policies also include outbound data sharing. That means when you have inbound, you process, and then you either store in a targeted database or you share when possible. So whichever may be the case, the policies are there to guide you so that you can strictly adhere to regulation to avoid risk and non-compliance issue. Okay, very important. And data standards and data rules. So a data standard provides a framework and overarching approach for ensuring adherence to data policy. Example, we have standards like ISO 3166, standard for the definition of codes for the names of countries. And we have so many standards. So, and if you are not acquainted with standards, you may be having a problem trying to deal with other countries' data policies and regulations. So normally we have territories and areas of geographical interest. And if you are not well acquainted with the standards and regulatory rules set up by any part of a place that your jurisdiction where you operate, you're going to be having a problem. That's why you see that Facebook, is it Facebook or Bookface, is being fined $2.8 billion. We're trying to transfer data from Europe to US. So we're talking about security, which of course I mentioned the other time. This involves digital data, protecting digital data, such as those in database, and from destructive forces and from the unwanted actions of authorized and unauthorized user. And such as espionage, cyber attack, or data breach. Of course, this is very important because this is what's going on everywhere in the world. And even if you finish your training, you could see a position of, say, data security officer. That alone, you'll be highly paid. This is a very big position. I know of one young lady who is about to buy a house now. So she's just being employed as data security officer in a company. So it's very important that we need to know what it entails. But whichever may be the case, we are prepared to let you know what data security is to the core. It's not the same thing as data privacy. So both of them combine to become to form data protection. Okay. Most global 2000 years companies have entirely teams dedicated to data security because they pay the people very well as well. So every company right now needs it because they have to secure their information. If they don't secure their information, then there will be a risk problem. Do you know why they have to? Every country in this world is looking for information from another person in order to develop themselves. There's a professor called Professor Michael Porter. If you have time, go and search his model. One of his models is that in a competitive environment, if you want to have a comparative advantage over your competitors, you have to look at the future plan of your competitor. How will you be able to get that? It's information. How do you be able to get information? If you look at the whole world, we have KGB, CIA, which one again? MI5, FBI. Can somebody help me?
FBI.
Nigeria, we have what?
SSS.
DSS.
SSS. So they try to acquire information to make sure they get things moving. So if you are not well informed, you are deformed. Information is reformation. People pay more money to get information in this world. Yeah, even everyone who has been trained, including all of us here. So when you are well informed, you can now move, and you have to have an insight into the reality of the information you have. And the understanding you gain from information, and then you apply it, it becomes wisdom and what you could also use to move things forward. Information is very, very important. And it has to be secured. That's why people are being paid very high. But if I put something right here, I think everybody I want everyone to have access to it, to what she put on the chatbot by ISO. So, so opportunity for you. We have good researchers here. Okay, that's very good. So most global companies, they pay the dedicated, a whole team on security. That's why they pay. That's why I said earlier that you can be employed to become a data security officer or a head of data security. That they're gonna pay you very high. Is that can be between, unless the company does not want to pay, will be 500 to 1,000 a day. So it depends on the complexity of data that need to be secure, especially when there's migration. So there's no much problem. I'll teach you data security right here as part of the curriculum anyway. So these are just the components that you need to know about data governance. Okay, then we have communications. Okay, include all written, spoken, and electronic interaction with association audiences who have interests or need to know about the activities of data governance team. So when you hear the word who have interest, what does that mean?
Stakeholders.
Stakeholder. Who is that person? In fact, man, everybody should clap for, and I will clap for you from here. I will represent everybody right from here to clap for you. Stakeholders. You must understand that word. Anyone who is interested in your business is a stakeholder. And not all stakeholders are shareholders, but you cannot be a shareholder without being a stakeholder, so without having a stake in it. So always remember that whatever you do, there's going to be a stakeholder who is interested in your business, especially when you are the one creating value. Or if the value is obsolete, you have what is called you create added value. Very important. Okay. For example, do you know if you're having a business, if you're having do you know restaurants?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Who do you think would be interested in your business of restaurant?
Every customer who comes there
Consumers.
Customers, okay. Who else again?
The chefs, the cooks, the waiters.
Yeah, those are the people working employee. Thank you very much, Faye. And all right.
HMRC.
Your competition?
Yeah, competitors. I like that.
HMRC.
HMRC, yeah, that means why must they be interested? Because they need what?
Yeah, the taxes.
The taxes. That's very correct. Okay. I want everyone to talk here. Who will be interested in your business? Michelle? You mute yourself.
Standard regulators.
Regulators, yeah. Michelle, you mute yourself. Michelle, you mute yourself. I want you. Ramsey, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Who are the people who will be interested in your restaurant business?
Maybe the CQCs to come and investigate things.
Are you saying maybe or they will come?
Yeah, the CQCs, yeah.
The CQC, not everybody know the meaning of CQC here. I attended evening school, so can you explain CQC for people here so that they understand it?
That is the people that come to investigate your activities to see if it's clean, things is going on properly and put in order.
Including health and safety.
No.
Yeah?
Yeah, but you can go on with health and safety parts and even in the market business issues as well.
Thank you so much. I love that. Okay. We call it Care Quality Commission.
Care Quality Commission.
Yeah? Okay, please.
Yeah.
always speak out like that so that people will know. You know, that not everybody understand the grammar because people like us, we attended evening school, so we won't understand it. So when you let people know, okay? And
Yes, sir.
any other thing, because amazingly barrister made it clear here, because there's one of those things I asked questions in those days during my training as well. When I was training some chief executive, I asked people, who are people interested in yours? So the answer is people here say, barrister say tips will also be interested in your business. So the tips are also stakeholder. Is that correct? Bob Manuel.
Come back with that side. Didn't really...
If you look at the chat box, barrister puts so tips also stakeholder tips. Is that correct?
Yeah, it makes sense because they are also business people in their own sense, and they need to look out how they can make progress. And one of the things that will stop them is when you have things in place that will not
So you
mitigate
to
their...
mitigate against their
Yeah, so they will have to see what you have in place and what what you have for your data now, security and all that. There are people that every day want to hack your system. That's their work.
That's
So
good. That's
they
what
need to
barrister.
also think about it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for explaining that. That's why barrister said tips also are interested in your business. Yeah, those are our stakeholders too. Okay. Oh, that's very good. So always remember those are our stakeholders. Always plan that. Okay. So there must be a communication plan that encompasses objectives of what you want to carry out, the goals and tools for all communication, and also should be part of the program from the early part of the program development. And if you don't put that on, and there will be, yeah, I like your input. I like your input. Oladimeji, yeah, banks and money lender, they're part of that. Yeah, that's good. I just love this cohort, you know. When you get to know this, you already know what you're doing. Okay, so communication, whenever there's always an interview question coming for communication because that is the key. Okay, if I'm hired to interview people, which of course I could be hired all the time anyway, the thing is that I ask questions concerning communication. Okay, and that will make me know whether you know how to collaborate with people, because there's a question always coming on collaboration, and they are trying to tell you to know you whether you have a communication skill in dealing with other stakeholders or across functional department. It's very important. Okay, communication is dialogue. It's no monologue. It's a dialogue. You must be able to talk to people, more than one person in dealing with, you know, the program in this digital world. So when you're going for interview, they will first test you, and after that, if you have to move to the second interview, they're going to tell you this interview is dealing with collaboration or dealing with communication. That's going to tell you. And when they tell you that dealing with that, they are trying to say how you'll be able to articulate this thing with other departmental heads and also to chief executive to buy into your program. So all these things you will be doing the right here. Those who are serious, because I will know who is serious to go for a job now, because I am identifying people who are moving faster. So very, very important. And this is how it is. So as we're here, you don't need to even be called to know how to talk. And don't be ashamed to talk, because we're here to learn. Both the trainee and the trainer are learning. You understand that? I don't know if somebody understands that. Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. So
Yes.
Thank you. Why are you going to be communicating? Objectives. What can somebody explain to me the difference between aim and objective? Can somebody tell me the difference between aims and objective? Hello? I want to know the
No.
I want to know the difference between aims and objective. Have you heard the word aims before?
Mm.
Have you heard the word aims before?
Yes.
Have you heard the word objectives before?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the difference?
So I think aim is what you expect to get in
To
the
my
project.
understanding, aim.
Is it I think or you know?
I think, sorry, I know, is what you plan to achieve in the project you're doing.
What you want to achieve. Is that correct, everyone?
Yeah, it
Okay.
sounds like that.
It
Like
sounds
I
like
gave
that's
my
what you're not sure. Sorry.
assumption. Aim, what you hope to achieve. Objective, how you plan to get there.
Can everybody clap for Oladimiji? Engineer,
Yeah.
you got it right. You're not clapping where you are. Don't worry, I'll clap for them. I'll borrow hands to clap for you. That's it. Please write it down. It's not because you hear the word is an objective. No. You are very important. You are an important executive. Because when you're going to speak like a professional. Let me go back to this. Let me go back to people again. Hello?
Hello, sir.
People. They are the backbone. Company investing money to train you. You are creating what? Value. You are so much important because you're going to come out with an executive document. This executive document is a strategic document. You must have an aim. And you must also have an objective to which that aim needs to be what? Ascertained. So you're not ordinary person. If we are to be church now, we say, can you tell somebody you know you're not an ordinary person? People will tell you that. You're not ordinary. That's why you're highly paid. They don't want anything to distract you. So on that basis, you must know the right thing to talk. You must know what to do, to say. And you having a very high strategic position, then how will you communicate it? So like what engineer Oladimiji just said, the aim is your target. How you get to that target is the objectives. Your aim today is to come for training. How are you able to get to this training? They are your objectives. Okay, your hands up, Efe.
So in other words, we can say that the aim of data is the long-term aim is to improve the data and accessibility within an organization.
That's correct.
And then the objective is the measurable steps to achieve the aim. So in other words, what is the objective? I want to reduce data entry errors by 30% or 20% within the next 6 months.
Absolutely.
So, and then one of the objectives again will be to establish a centralized system where everyone can enter in data, and then we can cleanse that data to make it better.
Okay. Can you just give us the initiative you carried out before? Because I know you're a professional.
So, okay. So when I first joined my organization, one of the aims was for us to improve the data quality and data quality within the organization, because before I joined, the data in the organization, the data system was shambolic. Everyone did not have access to the same central system. They had all sorts of duplications within the system, and that was affecting the output of the organization, because it was an organization where they dealt with customers, IT customers, people who were buying technical stuff and all that. So some of these were even going to homes that the people had moved out from. Those people were no longer existing in those places, but the equipment and material was still being sent out there. So the company was losing thousands of pounds because the delivery bodies were delivering to those addresses, and people who were not actually the owner were claiming these things. So it was causing a problem for the company. So one of the first steps I did was to make sure I reduced that data entry by 30% within the next 6 months. And I did that by making sure I had a sit-down workshop with everyone within the organization, all the key stakeholders, where we came together to say, right, how do we cleanse the system? How do we cleanse the data? How do we take out duplications? How do we know those who are existing and those who are not existing? So that was the first objective. As soon as that was cleansed out, it was given to the data stewards who had been trained by a trainer we brought from outside the organization to say, this is what you need to do. These are the issues that are involved in cleansing the system. So as soon as that was done, a new streamlined database was created. And then I said that everyone, including those in the IT, the human resources, the business areas of the company, the key business areas of the company, should all be feeding from that centralized database. And with that done, and all the documents, all the data cleansed in that database, and continuous monitoring and improvements, everything went smoothly. And before you knew it, the company has stopped losing money. And then, based on what I had done, I got a salary increment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Did we all hear that?
Yes, so
That is communication. You're able to articulate from goals, objectives, create atmosphere of saying you where you work. She was able to talk about, the challenges, the gap that existed, and she was able to talk about what she did to mitigate against it. Okay, and she was able to talk about the resultant effect of what she has said, she have done, and then the increment to her salary because she created value. And the only thing she never talked about is the tools she used. But that doesn't really matter right now, or that if I'm an examiner or an interviewer, will always ask, okay, why do that? What are the tools you use? But she was able to make mention of an aspect of the tools of saying a new database was created, was streamlined, talking about the dictionaries, which of course she's talking about Calibra, okay, and also right, someone's hand up is up.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I just following the explanation she has given just now. I was just thinking,
that you are ready. You are ready to do interview now.
It was very good when you are physically on ground. So for people who are not able to work physically, like they want to do remote, so how can they relate in such a job and probably achieve such objective?
Thank you. She doesn't go physically. She's always online doing her work.
Okay.
So that's why we're training you right now here. Before you finish on this training, you will be speaking like her, even more than her. If you tell her to speak again, she will speak a different form again because she's been doing it and she's been doing it. So everyone had to speak like this before you leave here. Otherwise, you have not come to study.
Okay. Right. Based on what Maria was saying, I don't know what, I can't remember what your background is, but every day wherever you're working, there's always initiatives which we carry out or which you can carry out. correct me if I'm wrong, I think you were a lecturer before, right? Before you relocated.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you, I'm pretty sure when you first got into lecturing, whichever school it was in Nigeria, before you relocated, you probably got into that classroom or faculty or whatever, and you found that the system was shambolic because the students who were meant to be in the classroom were not even coming to class, and then there were some names on the system who were not even actual students of that university anymore, but their names were still on the system. So you, as a data governance manager at that time, although you were a lecturer, but I could just put it now, maybe one of the things you did at that time was to say, why do we still have apologies if anyone is called Oladimeji. Why do we still have Oladimeji on the system? Why is his name still appearing when he ought to have graduated or he's been expelled from the school? So we take out his name. Then why do we have Cynthia living at number 3 at Jalomo Estate when Cynthia is now living at number 4, Kosiko Estate? You cleanse that out. Why do we have the bursaries that are being paid? Why do we have these people who are not even existing in the school being paid bursary when we have people who are actually still in the school not getting any bursary? So you cleanse, you speak to probably the administrative staff or somebody who are now the data stewards, and they cleanse that system. So before you know it, you have a more streamlined version using probably when you were doing the cleansing, you'd have been using a Word document with all the students' names there, or you could have been using an Excel spreadsheet with all the students' names there. So you were cleansing the system, you were taking out duplications, and then even then you were saying that sometimes when we say, okay, everyone in the broad age of 0 to 14 years should not be on this database. Everyone between the ages of I can't remember how old now, between the ages of 19 to 25 should be on this system. But when you put that into the system, it doesn't bring up anybody's distance. So it's okay, right? Why don't we use this initiative? Let's put another column in here to say everyone between the ages of 19 to 25 should be under this one. Everyone between the ages of 25 to 30 should be under this particular column. So that way, anybody goes into the system, types in ages of 19 to 25. It brings up how many people on there. So these are initiatives which you could have created when you got into the school. And based on that, all those people who were being given bursaries, who were no longer part of the school, were taken out of the system. That way, you have saved the local government or saved the school so much thousands of naira. Do you understand? I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you are very correct. Is a very good scenario, which is actually what happens practically. I also got your first explanation very well. But what I was asking was, I was just thinking, for someone who is not working on ground, who is remotely working. So I was just thinking, looking at the good initiative of the first example you gave at your own workplace when you first started, how you were able to pull that through and had such success. So I was just thinking how someone who worked remotely could actually do that and achieve such. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, because the whole world has become one big digital place. So when you work anywhere nowadays, you're remotely logged onto the system. So everything that you need is given to you on that system. Nowadays, since the advent of a coronavirus, people don't go into the office anymore. Some people go in once a week, some people go in twice a week. Some people don't even go at all, maybe once a month. So everyone has access to the system. So it depends on what you're looking for on that system. But one of the first priorities of the IT department is that you're giving access to all systems that concerns data governance. You'll be given access to it. And so you'll be able to do whatever you want to do.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Barrister,
thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to add to what CEO had said. And Maragority, what it is that when it comes to working on site and virtually, like you said, it is possible that you could, in fact, during the coronavirus or during the COVID era period, a lot of people actually got jobs that they didn't even go to the office one day, because when they were interviewed, they knew that this person can actually, we can trust this person to do his job from home or her job from home. You'll be saddled with that responsibility. And there was actually a debate on this the other day on a radio, LBC radio, which is one of the biggest. So what they were saying was that for people that are recently been employed, because we now have what is called hybrid working. So they were saying that how are they going to be sure that when you are home, you're doing your work? You know, especially for those that they don't actually know or they haven't actually worked with or other colleagues worked with in the same place. So what they now said is that there actually are, in fact, there are actually softwares that you could use to monitor people like that. And in addition to that, obviously, when you're working, it is expected for you to deliver the outcomes. Like if I said, or CEO, you know, with the outcome that was achieved, and I think I also had some very positive outcome that led to other local authorities taking a clue from what I worked on and what I did. I think that I don't think I was going to the office then. I was actually working from home, but the impact was actually felt and the outcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Barrister. Thank you, Efe. Thank you, Maria Goreti, who actually asked that question. It's good to ask questions. Thank you so much. And Engineer Oladimiji put something on the platform. Please take advantage of that. In all these things about integrity of data. So, I'm going to remind you again, especially those who are looking for a job, you go and find out yourself how much is being paid daily, and if you want to work from home, from wherever you are, if you want to work in US and from Nigeria, or you want to work in Britain, you're from Nigeria, anywhere in the world, you want to specify working from home, remote working, pure remote working. There you will see it there. So people are already working from different places all over the world, and they are in their home, the comfort of their home. So the only reason why probably you need to reach the office if you want to is when probably you really need to see chief executive if you can't be online discussing with them one-on-one and some stakeholders. Otherwise, you're purely online, okay? And if you just decide to say, all my work is going to be online, look for only online, okay? Is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for those who are able to explain more the reason why you must understand this. So
can I?
Yes, please.
So man, this is just my own belief, right? So I think one of the reasons why COVID came and left was to launch remote working. So it's going to be a global data management thing. Just my own opinion.
All right, thank you. I like that as well. Do you know, even working from home, it saves the company a lot of things as well. So if you look at
that's very true. Sorry, that's very true. Lots of people work from home, even in Nigeria. Lots of people are working from home, and some of the boys that what they so-called boys that they call 419 are not even 419. They're not even 419s or the Yahoo boys. Some of these boys are actually working from home with their laptop and earning in dollars and pounds. Yeah. I'm not talking about ripping other people. I'm talking about
genuine. We know a lot of them, yeah. So we must not be thinking that now there are if not every company wants to see people right now in their office because they themselves are tired. As long as the business is moving on, that's what matters to them. So, and I want to tell you another thing is that if in academia, so if you look at Oxford and Cambridge University right now, they spend much of their money in developing digital infrastructure than physical facilities. because they want to reach out to as many as possible because of the trend of what's going on over the world. Okay, there are a lot to it anyway. So I want you to understand that, okay, some of you are now in Canada, US, Nigeria, the capital of United States of Africa, tuning in here. So how are you tuning in here? How are you here? So it's digital. So I want you to understand that. The basic thing of this aspect of the strategy of the components is about communication. If you see what FA kind of came out with, it's just an initiative. Please get ready, because it will be your time that you will say it in about 3 times, 4 times. If I tell you it's your turn to talk, don't worry. I will give you how you should be doing it, what you will follow, how you will be talking, because definitely it's going to come for your interview. You can say, in my previous role, so data governance manager, I led the data governance initiative focused on improving data quality on a CRM platform. I'm a customer relation management platform. I thoroughly have data analysis, and I look at the root cause of data inconsistency or redundancy, and work closely with cross-functional departments and teams to establish data quality rules and implement a data validation, okay? And also carry out what is called, at every stages, automation. As a result, errors were reduced by 30% within 6 months, or maybe or whatever. There are improvement and into customer insight into reality, and also more accurate reporting for strategic decision making. How did you do that? You need to articulate more on the tools, how you work, how you communicate across functional department with other head of department. You must be able to talk. You must be able to relate. Okay, very important. And I'll be very proud when I see people like that. They are always smiling. You know, you don't want me to smile for everybody here. Don't you want me to smile?
We do.
We do, sir.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you. I want you to smile. So making some money. So if you finish your work properly. So socializing a program such as data governance essentials it is a departure from the status quo, not just as usual. So this new approach to properly governing the enterprise data must be incorporated into each area of organization, all right, and made part of the culture, the lifestyle of what you do. So socialization of data governance is a continuing process. It has to be, and it is an important activity in data governance program. In your program, you must put a plan of socialization, and which of course is a headstone, the cornerstone of data governance socialization. So the plan is very important, and the data governance socialization plan is a plan and process by which data governance activities are integrated into an organizational policy. So if you don't have that socialization, you cannot be ensuring to the policy. Internal culture and hierarchy in terms of organizational structure, or the organogram, so that we have what is cascading from up down, or how people can always be responsible from down up. Okay, so it's a process. So the plan is unique, and also to the organization. It must be tailored to the organizational culture and standards of the behavior of people. So that standard is very important. Who is in charge of that? Who need to report to this? Who need to tell someone something? Who need to carry out this? And when this is not done, who will be in charge? Okay, this work with communication as well. Okay, and then the metrics, which I explained the other time, and establishing business metrics and KPI for monitoring and also measuring overall business impact of the data governance program. And this is very imperative. And by the time you're able to establish your metrics, you'll be able to measure and track over time consistently, which is reliably measured the same way year in and year out. Okay, if there's any mistake, it can easily be pointed out and have the baseline to measure the same after a year as trying to, go back and measure their data governance program success. So how would you know that there's a success? Like when if we were speaking the other time talking about as a result, so number percentage of errors were reduced and increase the customer insight because I know she was using a customer relation management platform, which is CRM. One of the assignment that you will receive is CRM, which is very, very common in all areas where you're going to work. So, and then we now have to give you another assignment, which how to work with your data and how to measure everything as a document that you may be able to know what to do when you are employed. You will like data governance so much. So this situation make it very difficult to come up with an accurate measurement of success if it's not well taken care of. So that will result to evaluation. Okay. Now moving forward, technology, of course, in every program of data governance, we need various technology to be as automated as possible to ensure that things need to move as smooth as possible. Smaller data governance programs will typically use the technology stack, which they already have within their enterprise. If not, larger data governance initiatives will purchase software that is specific to data governance and also the functions the company may require. So software simplifies the process of scanning database and files to capture needed metadata and the metadata from different databases and put together to integrated together and know how to automate the stewardship workflow of the data and also help in decision trees, social voting, collaboration. That collaboration, that's where you talk about communication. Very, very important, and many other data governance and stewardship functions. So the technology is very important. There are different kind of software available, and depends on the one that is user-friendly to every company's activities and functions. So that is what it entails. So this is the end of the components, okay? Is there any question? Anyone?
Yeah, can you elaborate on social voting?
Social, you mean social voting? So social voting is like, for example, when you have a technology and when you have a software handling many data, so will you be able to have, you know what, we're going to socialize this, we're going to socialize this, and on what basis? Can we have the, which area will carry greatest socialization in order to make sure the technology is able to focus towards that direction? So there will be the technology software itself will create that ability to say, you know what, this set of people, we will be able to receive this more because we are expecting like CRM platform. You see the trend, what is trending. So could you vote for me? What is trending by virtue of so. The voting will go towards that direction. Like rib jeans, jeans trouser.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're chief executive, you want to carry out a production of rib jeans, okay, from descriptive data made available as well. Maria, your hand is up.
Yeah, please also throw more light on automated data stewardship.
I'll come down there. I need to finish. I'll finish here. Thank you. So yeah, like for example, you already have descriptive data showing that where in the last year we could see from data available that these rib jeans were purchased by so age range of people. not like elderly people from 70s, 80s, 90s, you understand? So on that basis, from descriptive, you'll be able to, okay, who are we going to send this data to communicate with? And on that basis, they will now decide to say, you know what, vote this to from descriptive data. Can you have a social voting to so people to so group or a group that purchased this specific data, specific item via by virtue of the data that was made available descriptively. You will see the technology will just vote it straight to you. So that's what they do. Is that clear so that I can go to the next one?
Yes.
Good. And if it's not clear, you can always ask me more. And Maria, this United States, this Canada people, you like knowing. Automation is that, one of the tutor is not available because he works in a system, very big, handling very big data. So what it does, what automation is that, it's just like if you made mention of having cleansed the data and have a streamlined database put together. What you do is to automate the data to avoid any of reoccurrence of what has been wrong before. So that means when you automate the data yourself, if there is a wrong entry or wrong thing coming out, there will be the automation will alert you. Say, wrong data coming in. So that because you have automated it, so anything that will come within the database wrongly, it will alert the stewards. Stewards, you can't be employed as a stewards officer, you're still going to receive a very big amount of money. So there's always a workflow how the stewards work with data. And if they have automated the system after doing cleansing data quality initiatives, you will see that if there's anything coming wrongly to the system, there will be alert. That's what automation. It will just run as it has been established. But if there's a problem coming in, then automatically it will identify it. So automating a system in database actually gives you opportunity to make your data have integrity. Otherwise, you fall back to your process and go back and do cleansing again. Is that okay, Maria Garrett?
Yeah, it's very okay. Another one, sir, please. Throw little light on that socialization of data governance. There's a slide before this one.
Okay. You mean the slide before this one?
Socialization. I think socialization slide.
Okay.
I think it should be before
not this one.
Okay.
Not this
Yeah, the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this.
Okay. Now, I can do that without even the slides anyway. So what you need to know about this is hold on, somebody just sent it. Okay. What you need to know about this is if every program, social determinant program, it's very important that every department must understand what has been set. So when you establish a program, okay, if the company data must be incorporated into each area of the organization. So that means we have like mechanical department, we have a IT department, we have HR department, we have different kind of department. You need to now socialize, that means make them understand, know the program. Okay, and let them understand how the program runs. So, and this goes a long way to really help you, letting them know who is in charge in terms of each department database, okay? And that becomes a lifestyle. That is a culture of the company itself. So when you continue to have this socialization, people become more aware of the activities of your program. Is that understood?
Yeah.
Okay, now, how do you, because there's always a question coming from here, from socialization in interview. How will we be able to make sure this socialization is maintained over time, continuously? So what will you do, for example?
Okay, if I understand what the socialization really is from what I just got now, it is a way of putting it in a layman language, like socializing with other areas or other departments within the
Especially
organization.
Especially when we have organogram or organizational structure.
Yeah, it's a social interaction with other departments or other areas.
It has to be continued. Yeah.
Yeah. So because these are the other departments or other units you're kind of like going to be working with, because everybody tends to be generating and using the same data you are governing.
That's correct.
Going forward, I think routine check and
how will you carry out
adequate
that's a very, very good answer. How will you be able to carry routine check?
Okay. Being that everybody uses the data, like we talked about data security, and when you are dealing with data security, you are monitoring both authorized and unauthorized users. Yeah. So for those who are authorized users, like maybe within the organization, you have to like be on the check to really check what they do, kind of like almost on a regular basis with the data, to be sure that they're not tampering with the data or they're not misusing the data you are governing. Then talking about updating, like if there is change in any part of the data or any part of whatever that is within your range, maintaining that socialization requires updating. Like when you update, maybe update from your own end, you should ensure that it reflects round, like within other socialized units, like you're mingling with other areas or other departments, so that you will have uniform data, not when the IT data is like incomplete, like your own is complete, some other units within the organization, their data is not complete. You're having inconsistent data from the various units within the same organization. So maintaining this socialization also has to do with updating the data at different level. Whenever there is a change, you alert them. If the change is such that require more elaboration or explaining why the change occurred. So updating them on all that is a way of maintaining it within an organization. I don't know.
Absolutely. No, you don't know. Absolutely. You hear the note. You hear the notes completely. Okay. You see, the only thing you can also do in addition to that is have a continuous assessment, continuous meeting, continuous workshop.
Okay.
Yeah, because that is a very short answer to any question in the interview. Continuous workshop, maybe you can program them bi-weekly or monthly or that kind of, so you just call the functional departmental head or whoever that they are data owners. So that when you let them have a meeting, and they themselves will have their own internal workshop cascading down. If you have the organogram and you're dealing with executive and we're dealing with managers and dealing with, other data owner, the same people will get the information down. That weekly, they could be reporting, there's a portal they can be reporting that they are actually having a meeting or socialization, make sure things are done properly. Okay, that's very good. Yeah, you're going to go fast.
So can I add something?
You can add, please.
So, okay, so maybe this might be applicable, so I just wanted to. So like when engineering firms where you are looking at service quality as like one of the major things one of the major focuses of the company, because it also relates back to revenue and the essence of being giving your customer what is best for them, and mitigating issues where you lose money or where you have to save lives and all that. So like where these in workshops where equipments are prepared to be taken out to the rigs to work, and then things you have to put in, they have processes in place that ensures that, and then you also have programs that have to do with signatories and people taking responsibility when you have to put your signature there. So if it requires you to take 5 steps to prepare a particular equipment, from making it up, from ensuring that you have the right torque on the thread, ensuring that you have the right volume tested, ensuring that the volume test is done, is charted, all that will be, all those processes will be written in steps. And for every step that is done, the personnel involved with that is going to fill out your name, your employee number there. There will be a column for your supervisor to sign after you pass that stage. And when you pass that stage, you take the supervisor, I've done this. Before the supervisor signs, the supervisor is his place to go and ensure that what you have signed, what you have on paper, it's what it is. So if you have a sequence, you have to make up an item that is black to yellow, then yellow back to white, and then to black. If it's a standard, the organization already have it in place that this is a standard for this thing to go through for us to achieve this. So when on that your documentation, whoever is working with that has to follow that process, and then you take it back to your supervisor. So your supervisor comes back to ensure that this is what you have done, and he signs across that. So at the being recorded, and you put it back into a system, and you have a coordinator that looks into the system to see that when you have issues, the reason is that when you have issues, hello, can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay, so sorry, because okay. So the reason is that when you have this, the manager at the very top knows that if these processes are followed, there is no way you're going to have an incident on the rig floor, because the processes were followed. The persons that were in charge, who are like the supervisors to those who work down in the workshop, are signed off. And when you sign off, it means that you have put in your signature, so you know that there are consequences when you don't get things right, because consequences is going to hit the company if they're going to lose money or lose personnel. So when you put your signature, you have to ensure that this is done. So it goes all the way, and there's accountability across everybody. Everybody that works, that had an input into that program, including the QA/QC coordinator, and there's also a QA/QC manager that with every month they go through every job that was done to ensure that everything was followed and what is required was done. Safety meetings were held, all that is being recorded. So when you know when these things work is when they start doing investigation. When you have an issue, they will have to go back into the system and check to see if everything was followed. If you have everything followed, then during the investigation, it can be tailored, it can be moved from human error to maybe to a mechanical error, and then they can see how they can address that and see how it can be mitigated so it doesn't occur again. So I think these are part of socialization processes that are put in place to help the organization achieve their objectives.
Absolutely. That's really, really well articulated, And also, thank you so much, Engineer Bob Emmanuel. I had experience of that before, many, many years ago. I was in a helicopter going to the high sea, and we had a blowout preventer. And we have a blowout fire Engr from the rig, top drive rig, worth 86 million American dollars, the first well drilling Bono terminal. So we saw 5 minutes to land on the rig, and we saw fire far away, and we have to be diverted and then went to go and rescue other people. 5 people died. Why? Because the mod engineers data, this is where the data comes in now. Mod engineers meet mod. And the mod from statistics, as you just explained, the viscosity of the mod was not did not commensurate with the outcoming pressure. Okay, so and the recirculation process, since it didn't commensurate with it, we say gas region anyway, very high gas zone. During the circulation process, the mold could not hold, and then the BOP, the blow-up preventer, could not also withstand the pressure coming, the outcoming pressure. So there's high differential, and then that resulted to the derrick, the entire crew, drilling crew right there, had a problem. So it's about data. And like when they investigated, they discovered what I just said as a result.
Hello?
So, hello, can you hear me? People can hear, but I think it should be from your side, Prince.
Sorry, I can hear you.
People can hear. So the same thing happened in that. So when their investigation was carried out, they looked at who signed or who endorsed what, who ensured that this and that. So it's a matter of the hierarchy of socialization of the plan of the data, who signed what, at what, who cross-check. It's about accountability and responsibility in terms of data. The same thing happening everywhere. So if that is not done properly, there's going to be a problem. The outcome, the value created will be wrong. Just imagine somebody want to invest into your business and look at the integrity of of your data, and then you discover that how you're able to ensure such data. If they're not well prepared and tailored to what expectation is, then there's going to be a problem. So thank you so much for that example you put together. So I got to go now. And have you learned something today?
Good luck, sir. Yeah, so much.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So if you have learned something today,
Yes, highly learned things.
You have learned something today. You have my WhatsApp. So I will be glad to see that you put something there as feedback. Feedback is very important to know whether you've learned something or there's something to learn more. We don't have any problem with that, so that's why we're here. So on that basis, I see you. I'll see you on Saturday. I'll see you on Saturday. And I know some people want to get in touch with me. Please try to get in touch with me. Those who want to get in touch with me, do that. And we can talk more. Is that okay, everyone? This
All right.
This is what actually happen when we
Thank you, sir.
people don't want to go.
Thank you, Efe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Latonia. I don't know which one is Latonia now, whether not two people be Latonia there. I don't know that. But I catch you people. Then we have Omo. Thank you, Omo. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ewa Mozino. If you thank you so much. Engineer Oladimiji.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's a pleasure.
All the new people today.
Thank you.
Rigo Come, thank you for.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, Mamadou. Thank you for coming. Ramsey.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you, Barrister. It's a pleasure always seeing you, Barrister. Thank you, Noble. Thank you, EMI. AMI is someone who actually has a very big delivery system and production of good food to anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world, EMI, Noble, the lady. And I ate her